All right, all right. Impromptu stream for Saturday night. We got another one coming up on the music channel, which is going to be a little bit different from what we normally do, but we'll talk about that a little later. But I gotta ask, are we live? I said, are we live? Vigilante Wednesday here on another episode. Well, actually, I've never done this. I have never done a watch along for an NFL game. Now, there's going to be no footage, except this murky footage I'm calling, this mood lighting, whatever the hell I'm doing. That's all we got. You only see the W. The V's all fucked up. But yeah, that's all we got. This looks like a damn Kylo Ren mask with the lighting. I should have set up the lighting, but this is very impromptu, especially me being on camera. So I almost like the lack of lighting. Hey, Papa Cotton. Jeez, you don't even have a wrench over here. Shows how much I use this channel. I thought you would have had a wrench. But you know what? That's a new channel. You've switched channels since then. Is it going to let me give you a wrench? Oh, well. Appreciate you being here. Watching Kansas City versus Miami. Part of me going live is I had a fairly successful video on Lamar Jackson, at least for me. And it's so weird having a small YouTube channel. I don't know if I'm going to get 2 views or 2,000. Literally, I can get 50 views. I can get 1,500. And so you never know what's going on, which, obviously that's not a ton of views for everybody. I get it. A lot of YouTubers getting millions of views out there. But it's weird. And I honestly felt like a subpar YouTuber. I should have done a better video. I really should have. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You just got to live and learn. But I appreciate anyone who came out for that video. And so I figured if anybody who did watch that video showed up, I could probably better explain stuff. Plus, I'm like, you know what? I do sports content. We'll do a quick watch along. I'm not going to be able to do a watch along tomorrow because I'm going to be busy watching the Lions game live. And real quick, I just realized I got to make sure you guys don't hear the audio. So I have to mute the desktop audio. You might still hear a little bit of it, but I don't want you to hear it that clearly. I'm not trying to get taken down by the NFL. And because we are still in the high seas a little bit, I feel sorry for the people who actually have to pay for Peacock just to watch this shit. That's really fucked up. But we're not doing that, so we might be a little bit delayed as a result. But yeah, we'll just talk football, talk whatever, really. I'm not sure who's going to show up. This is a very impromptu stream. We will still do Synthwave Saturday night. Because I'm having technical issues, I'm going to give a couple of tries. But if I can't get the sound working, I'm just going to render a bunch of beats that we've already worked on and heard and kind of talk through where I'm at. Process-wise, we'll still play music, all that good stuff. But we will see. We will see. So, yeah. So, how you doing, Papa? Do you follow sports, Papa? Calling some random dude I don't know, Papa. You a big sports guy or NFL? I know you keep reminding us the NFL is gay. That's what they said. I thought the NFL did a good job of just rejecting all the politics stuff. Especially this year. They've really toned it down. They really just focused on being a sport. Nope, Papa Cotton says no. Not following sports. Listen, sports at the end of the day are rigged. Especially nowadays where everybody has a betting app. So you're better off not getting emotionally attached to sports. Hey, Nas. Doing a football watch-along. I did see the Texans whoop on the Browns while I was at work. I just got off, and I figured, I'm going to do a watch-along. All right. So, Tua, did he get the first? Very close to the first. Yeah, Tua's pretty fragile, except for this year. This year he started, I think, every game. He led the league in yardage this year, Tua. How loud? Like, I hope you can't hear too much of the audio. Let me actually turn it down. Because I don't want it to be too audible. I feel like I'm talking over it. But I appreciate, I don't want to get caught up by the NFL. I got enough issues. But yeah, my Lamar Jacksonville did well. Figured maybe a few NFL fans might show up. Never know what the algorithm's going to do with me. Man, I'm so sick of seeing Taylor Swift. See that flat thought? To read the whole quote. Nas says that NFL's been propping up that flat thought Taylor Swift. They sure as shit do. Goodness gracious. Leave us alone. Like, leave us alone. Do we have to see this bitch every 5 seconds? Goodness gracious. And hopefully this is the start of me being on camera more. That's another reason I'm doing this. Figure like, if nobody shows up, that's cool because I hate being on camera, but I got to be on camera more. What's the point of having a gimmick when you wear a mask if you never wear the mask? So there's that. But yeah, hopefully they don't show this. Hopefully Kansas City loses. I'm rooting on them to lose, if for nothing else, so we can guarantee a new champion. I would love to just know, all right, we know for sure there will be a new champion. Okay. I'm actually moving this around so I can see myself live along with you guys. Yeah, I don't understand. She gets no shit for that. Yeah, to quote Nosferatu the vampire, bitch always makes a song for some dude who dumps her. Bitch, you ever think you might be the problem? If one dude couldn't stand you, if one dude couldn't stand to stay with you, none of these dudes can stand to stay with this bitch. She's probably high maintenance. She's probably high maintenance and low. She's not, listen, she's a cute enough girl, but she's not like a dime piece by any stretch. No disrespect. You see my fat ass right now. I ain't winning a world's sexiest man. I'm just keeping it a buck though. She's a adjustable 6. Nothing wrong with that. She's very high end average. Oh shit. Miami throwing this away early. Tua just threw a pick, a bad one too. But speaking of not bad ones, she's not like most girls are adjustable 5s, adjustable 6s, meaning they're about a 5 or 6, but with makeup and presentation, they can get themselves. Different girls get themselves higher, 7 or 8. She can get herself to a 7, 7.5, and there's no shame in that. Average guy be happy to have him a 7.5 on his arm. But you can just tell the maintenance level is not of a 7.5 at all. The maintenance level is of a 12. And that's why you see her running through guys. And then she's like, man, you all kind of running through guys. You know what I'm saying? You thought? Nah, that's honest. Yeah, she has a flat body. Built like a Papa Cotton. So she has a flat body. There's no doubt about that. And these are white guys saying it. So don't blame, you always want to blame me for shit. God damn it. You bigots. She's not built that great. Yeah, she's church cute, like you said. She's work cute, church cute. You're like, oh yeah, she's cute. She's cute. But at the same time though, I don't want to go too hard about her. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, the average dude would be happy to have a Taylor Swift. Now, the average dude wouldn't be like, oh, man, I'm killing it because I'm fucking a girl that look like Taylor Swift. But you'll be cool. You can do a lot worse. You can do a lot better. Like I said, adjustable 6. She's got a decent little face, decent little plain little face. She doesn't have much in the body department. Said Patrice had the best rating system. She's a good looking, eye looking bitch. Yes, that's probably accurate. She's a good, good eye looking. So I don't want to just sit up there because sometimes guys can go too hard on some of these basic looking girls, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, a lot of us be happy sometimes to have a basic looking girl. I hate disrespecting the average. Put some respect on Mid's name. Put some respect on Mid's name. Oh yeah, it was 1 to 30. I forgot what it was for. Enlighten us all on Patrice's scale when it came to looks. It was 1 to 30, and it meant something. I forgot what why it was higher than 10. I've heard some dudes say how many hours per week you got to work to deal with. So that's the thing. I wouldn't work any extra hours if you use that scale. It's like the same amount of hours I work. She's not an overtime chick. 13 out of 30. That's probably about right. Like you could do worse, but you could do worse, but you could do better. If we just talk about the looks. Also, most of her music is kind of annoying, but hey, the NFL is tricking her, or using her to trick. Golly, they using her to market. See, that's the one thing about the NFL. They always market it. It's never enough for the NFL. Some companies, especially nowadays, they say, "Oh, we're big enough. We're Apple. We're this. We're that." So we don't need to market. No, the NFL, they got the little Nickelodeon game to market to kids. They said, how we gonna market to women? Oh, this whole's fucking Travis Kelce. Well, we're gonna keep putting her on TV. They are unabashed capitalist marketing motherfuckers. They will never stop. It's never good enough. So you got to give them some credit for that. Or you can hate whatever you want to do. It's your business. Personality factors in too. Yeah, she seems insufferable. That's really what it boils down to. We talking about her looks. There's girls that look just as good as Taylor Swift that you'll be happy to have because they're so pleasant and cool and you make you happy to be around. And then there's girls that look like Taylor Swift that just will terrorize a motherfucker. And she looks like a domestic terrorist. Taylor Swift, you can tell is a domestic terrorist. And I don't mean a literal domestic terrorist. I don't want lawyers coming at me. And we worse than the NFL. We talking about Taylor Swift. Motherfucking Chiefs got the damn ball. They just got a first down. Talk about this hoe. We worse than the NFL. Because they ain't showed her in a minute. Thank goodness. I do remember that Papa Cotton talking about all the pics of the stadiums from above looking like occultic symbols, Illuminati eyes. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy. Sports are so rigged. And one thing I'm going to start doing when I do my sports video, add a quick little disclaimer to let people know, hey, all this shit is rigged, so don't take it too seriously. That's something I've been missing. Because people don't understand. Because the sports channel can get to a couple thousand people pretty quick, I get people who don't understand how I view things. And so they come in thinking all this shit is real. All this shit is something to be emotionally attached to. And yeah, listen, I want my damn Lions to win tomorrow. But I know it's a script. If I didn't know it was a script, I found out a few weeks ago when my man checked in. And they didn't check him in. It's a script. They got all these fucking betting sites. If I didn't have an ad blocker, I'd be seeing all these fucking betting sites from watching where I'm watching. Because like I said, I ain't paying fucking Peacock. Are you crazy? All this gambling, Fox Bet, DraftKings, there's all this shit. Everything has a betting thing, and they all Vegas. We say Vegas is all these online casinos, all this gambling, all these prop bets. That's how people found out. That's how people knew this shit was fake. When motherfuckers start gambling a lot of money, you have millions of people simultaneously say, "Wait a second, how am I always losing against the spread all the time, every time, all the time?" And all my friends are always losing against the spread all the time, every time, every time. Something has to be up. But now I said this is why women have no game. They don't have to develop a personality. Well, no, if Taylor Swift was out in the wild, she had to develop a personality. She's not that cute to not have a personality. She's that cute to be one of the best singer-songwriters numerically of the past 20 years and not have a personality. But she couldn't just be, working in an office, Taylor, and still be uppity. She'd have no penis at all because she's not that cute. You know what I'm saying? And she's the type of girl that probably goes for guys outside of her league, and they just wouldn't even tolerate her. They would just outright say no. You know what I'm saying? She's not that cute to just have no personality. She would have had life would have said no, you're not that cute. You gotta be a human. That's the thing. She looks like if she was normal, she'd be cool. But as she is, nah, you're fucked. That's what I mean. Like, she's not that attractive. She's gonna have to crack a joke. That bitch gonna have to crack a joke. You said attractive women can't generally be funny, which I agree with, Papa Cotton. Which is why, if Taylor Swift was a regular bitch, she'd be a funny bitch. That's my point. If she was a regular chick at the office, she's funny. She's quirky. Substance dildo. Looks like just the OGs showing up. I appreciate it, though. We still shooting shit. You thought about doing live reactions to the fight? You know what? I probably should, huh? I probably should. Because I don't do enough live reactions on the channel. That's true. Retarded gorilla bitches can get dick. But like, I'm analyzing the profile, right? A girl like Taylor Swift, if she was a regular chick, she's probably not. I mean, she's gonna get fucked. Girls are gonna get fucked. Girls will always get fucked. Don't get me wrong. But I can see her coming up a little short. Like, she would have to develop those gorilla. There's some funny gorilla looking bitches. You know what I'm saying? Even those bitches, yeah, they can get penis. They still gotta develop a personality. Ooh, almost a pick. And actually, Taylor Kelsey just dropped the damn ball. He's been fucking up since he been fucking with her. Now maybe she got some Kardashian in her pussy. But yeah, you right. Retarded gorilla bitches are getting dick nowadays. Everybody's getting dick. It's crazy though. All these modern megastars don't leave a legacy behind. Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga won't be remembered like the Beatles and Zeppelin. Beatles and Zeppelin both Tavistock bands. Papa Cotton. You know what? Finding out that they were a Tavistock band did hurt my like of the Beatles. Can't buy me love. Leslie Jones. Somebody would smash Leslie Jones. Somebody would. That's the truth. That's the reality. Because too many dudes is out here beating their dick into oblivion to not smash her. That's the reality. And I'm sorry for anyone who shows up. This is not NFL coverage. The fuck? What does this have to do with Kansas City and Miami? But honestly, finding out the Beatles was just a bullshit band, that did hurt my view of them. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because I was a Beatles guy. Because I like good songwriting. That's why I'm a Prince guy. And it's like, oh yeah, that's all fake. Some fucking intelligence agency offshoot think tank came up with these dudes. And that's probably why Paul is dead. They probably just like, oh no, we just replacing this dude. He's already called Travis Swift Glenzer. Appreciate you being here. If Travis Kelce, that's how we start talking about all this other shit instead of the damn game. Because if Travis Kelce is fucking up as usual. But you're right. They're already calling him Travis Swift. I'm calling him Travis Swift. And we were talking about how genuinely mid she looks. Zeppelin was inherently formed as a supergroup, though. Let's see. I don't even know what they challenging. They challenging the first down. Yep, 4th and inches. I don't know. Who knows? These spots are all fake. We're in 2024. They use fucking chains and these plastic or whatever the fuck they made out of pylons as the goddamn spots. All these spots are fake. The referees do whatever the fuck they want. See, they were Tavistock. A lot of those old bands did like pizza. And we ain't talking about Domino's, guys. Unfortunately. Especially those old rock bands. They used to be bragging about it. Like, yeah, she's only 16 and shit like that. Like, the fuck? And they gave him the first down, of course. It's in Kansas City. Of course they're going to give him the first down. Now, I didn't really see it, but I just know these spots are bullshit. These spots are always bullshit. But yeah, Tavistock Institute. For those who don't know, we're talking everything on this show. It's supposed to be a watch along for Kansas City and Miami. And we're talking whatever. So yeah, the Tavistock Institute, they were like a think tank out in Britain. Think tank / intelligence. They were intelligence related. They came up with the concept of the Beatles. They brought the Beatles together. You know, it's not uncommon for, you know, we know about New Kids in the Block, NSYNC. They had tryouts to have them, but that was kind of hidden. The Beatles story, and I think maybe two of them may have grew up with each other, but I don't think the rest of them did. And obviously, they ended up replacing the drummer, Pete Best, for Ringo Starr, who really didn't learn to drum till he was a grown. He had learned to drum till everybody was dead. Be 1,000 with you. Motherfuckers. And even they themselves say, oh, man, that sounds good. Yeah, because you didn't really drum on it. They had a lot of that shit with session musicians, which a lot of the 60s artists had session musicians, not just the Beatles. Don't just blame them. They would have session musicians come in, play all the instruments, and you think it's Buffalo Springfield. Meanwhile, it's the same band that play for Buffalo Springfield, that play for the Mamas and the Papas. And I don't know if I'm picking these bands out of a hat. I don't necessarily know which. There's books that break it down better than I am. But for example, the same band might be playing for all these different groups, and you think it's a group, but no, it's the same band. Maybe the vocalists change out. So again, I don't know which ones did which. Hey, New Bomb Turk. Jimmy Page had a 14-year-old girlfriend when he was 28. Yeah, 16 was too old. But they was talking about 16 in the song. Winger even had a song. She was only 17. Talking about Papa Cotton. You know, Papa Cotton, it's still so weird you not having a wrench. I'm just giving it. I don't know what the hell's going on. So the first quarter's coming to an end. This is the worst watch along ever. We talking about everything but the damn game. And now my stream is acting stupid. All right. Session musicians, black. A lot of them were. There's some white boys playing. There's some white boys that play. Ted Nugent, legit. Wow. You know what? Prince did the same thing with Mate. At least she was 17 and a half. So that's ancient compared to most of these guys. But Ted Nugent, yeah, I do remember that. He came the guardian of a young girl so he could marry her. Like I said, Prince allegedly got the guardianship of Mate when she was 17. So that's not totally uncommon. Pete Townsend got caught with pizza on his computer, and he told the authorities he was researching catching pizza lovers. Yeah, right. The Wrecking Crew. If you don't talk about session musicians, they did a lot of stuff. And that was a mostly black band. They did a lot of stuff. There were a few of those session bands around where really the whole 60s was like 3 or 4 bands, and people don't even know them. The Wrecking Crew. What's the other one? The Funk Brothers. There's a few of those bands, and they did everybody's music, and didn't get a fucking dime. Didn't get a goddamn dime. They families, a lot of them still didn't get a dime. Hey, Jana Banana. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, the Laurel Canyon scene. All of them, pretty much everybody there, father or mother was in the military, or both. Jim Morrison's dad, I think we talked about this, was involved in the Gulf of Tonkin. His dad, high-ranking naval officer. Yeah, he was involved in the Gulf of Tonkin. Nosferatu. Jim Morrison's dad. And sorry to anybody. I realize it's easier to check out the Kick and the Twitch. If you're not watching the YouTube, it's a wild chat. It's even though the Twitch and Kick stay the same, but the YouTube channels change. You guys follow me around. I appreciate it. But yeah, there's a lot of CIA. There's a lot of CIA involvement in the entertainment industry. This is not. Or intelligence agency. I should, because they just always CIA. Sometimes it's MI6. Sometimes it's is it the Mossad? Is that what they call them out in Israel? Sometimes it's some Europe, some different based intelligence agency. Can I see out that mask? Really, no. But that's which is half the damn reason I'm barely on camera. Let's see. Not true, since you did on most of the primary sessions. Musicians were very mixed. Yeah, Cali. Different groups. Like I said, different groups had different configurations. There was a lot of mixed. There was a lot of white boys in those Cali bands. I don't know if the Wrecking Crew was one of them. There was like 3 or 4 bands that were the session bands. Funk Brothers were mostly black, though. They were based out of Michigan, Detroit. They were based out of Motown. A woman came up with the bass line for Good Vibrations. Good Vibrations. There was a guitarist that was part of the Wrecking Crew that was on 10 of the top 15 songs one year. Wow. In 67. They got paid in tabs, and it is the Mossad. Yeah, there's a bunch of different intelligence agencies who fuck up our entertainment industry. That's why we're doing the sports broadcast, I only take it so seriously for that reason. If you think sports isn't filled with a bunch of intelligence agency shit, I mean, a lot of these guys supposedly are genetically modified to do the shit they can do. Seriously, literally. A lot of these athletes, I don't care if you're watching soccer over in Europe, because we know we got an international audience, or football, whatever you want to call it, American football, basketball. Man, you look at that guy, my man playing baseball, Shohei Ohtani. Nobody's ever been able to pitch and hit at this clip ever, outside of Babe Ruth, and he did that against legit plumbers, right? So you got this trained athlete somehow can throw the ball as hard as he can and still be able to hit. No one's been able to do it ever in the history of the game. But now you got this guy. You think that's just natty? You think he just naturally somehow did that? No. Japan probably got their intelligence agency. We could create a super soldier too. And then you got a guy like that. There's a doc for the Wrecking Crew done by the guitarist's son. Yeah. Cloning labs are real. Yeah. There's a quest in Cyberpunk where they manufacture athletes. Wow. Say that's a red pill and letting you know what the fuck is going on. I definitely think they do cloning with athletes and use genetic material, almost like i.e. Metal Gear Solid, using genetic material to help clone and genetically modify other motherfuckers. Because they're always trying to get, because this bread and circus that we call the sports world, it attracts so much money, it attracts so much attention. It does so much. It does so much. If they want to have a destabilization effort, they can use it. They want to culturally add some cultural Marxism to the game, or add some more vision to the game. They could do it easily through sports. Shit, part of the reason my little did as well as it did, because it talked about race. Lord knows, you talk about race, you can divide people, and controversy creates cash, and controversy also creates distraction. So you can do whatever the fuck you want. You got everybody focused on this bread and circus, this shit that we call sports. Let's see. Pay tabs. Okay, our entire entertainment industry is based in witchcraft. That's true too. Any retarded Harry Potter fan can tell you that the wood of the holly tree is used for holly wood is used for wands. That's why they named it after that. People hated MGS2 at the time because of writing, but man, that game, I didn't play Deus Ex at the time, obviously, but that game blew my mind. When you go back to some of those speeches at the end of that game, that the Colonel is just letting you. He even broke down what a meme was before anyone had even thought of it. And broke it down to its real definition, not just the memes that we see, but the memes, the idea of them being something that pillar in your mind. Real crazy stuff. You said Deus Ex did it 2 years ago. Uh-oh. Tyreek got into the end zone. Oh, it's a flag, though. What's it going to be? I didn't even see it because I'm sitting there reading the chat. That's the thing about Miami. They do have an explosive offense, especially with time. Up defense, so don't count. 7-10. Miami is only down 3 points now, or 6-10, because Lord knows they can miss this extra point. Who knows? And they broke down memes before the gay 12-year-old became obsessed with them. Yeah, but they broke down what memes are really for. They're to plant ideals into your head. Yeah, that was a real legit passive fit. It's not just, oh, let's laugh at something. It's the means of transmitting ideas. And then when you can control what memes get popular. Yep, 7-10. Kansas City is still up. We are 14 minutes left in the second quarter. Is it witchcraft for real? How did all those little people get the TV? Well, they used to put quartz in TVs because of the crystals. So they were definitely trying to do witchcraft with our televisions. The officials have been making wild ass calls the entire season. Yeah, the officials are in on it. And I heard these guys aren't even full-time employees. Can you believe that? This billion-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar, multi-corporation, essentially, with all these franchises in the NFL, they can't pay all these officials. That's bullshit. So you know the officials are on the tape. I like humorless, when humorless, angry people try to meme. They say the left can't meme. I don't think the political can meme. Because I don't think most of the right can meme. The motherfucking Daily Wire can't meme. What the fuck? Oh, boy. Here we go with the stream. Here we go. All right, real quick. Take a quick smoke break. See, even this damn commercial talking about sports book. You got Jamie Foxx telling us to bet on shit. Fuck you. I'm not betting. That's the one thing I haven't done. Because I'm not blown. I got enough vices in my life. I'm not adding one. Fuck you. And sometimes I'll be wanting to. What's MGM bet? Yep. Bet MGM. Creepy shit they doing. All right. I'll let you hear me smoke, but I don't want to, watch. Let's see. Actually, real quick. Yeah, the right can't meme. Alt-right, the alt-right can meme, though. Like 4chan, they can meme their asses off. But the regular right, come on, guys. I can remember back in the late 90s, many of the refs were lawyers and such. Not sure about now. Yeah, I remember that too. I don't know who the refs are now. Fucking execs for MGM Grand, probably. Who knows? Yeah, alt-right memes can be funny. See no difference in Daily Wire trying to meme or any other big network, right? Daily Wire is a mainstream media network. The only people who don't know that is the people who subscribe to the damn Daily Wire. The real money isn't in bet. Oh, yeah, if you could be a bookie, goodness gracious. The house always wins. Oh, wow, stream. Well, excuse me. I'm trying to watch this damn kickoff. And it was, I don't know what happened. Man, if you had the ability to be a bookie, that's a money printing machine. Money printing machine. I wonder what the laws are trying to open up a casino. A digital online casino. You probably need a lot of capital to start up. That's the gimmick. You probably need like $100 million to start it because you got to have enough, probably to insure it to a certain extent. But boy, if you can do it, you probably need more than that. But if you can get it done, whew, you will be making money. But yeah, the house is always gonna win. That's how that goes. All right. Peace out, Papa. She's got 10 the puppets and 10. Oh, no, you got in 10. I thought you said till 10. All right, well, we got you for the next few minutes. I appreciate you being. Oh, here they go, showing this bitch. Every book I've ever known has had crazy stacks. New car, new houses, yeah. It's a lot of money in it. Shit, even if you are off-brand bookie, there's a lot of money in it, obviously. A lot of money in it. They goofy. Every time Travis Kelce do something, gonna show her stank ass. But I mean, he dropped. Are they gonna show him when he dropped the fucking ball? My goodness, how much is this? What is? She got some Kardashian in her pussy for this guy to be dropping the ball. He drops the ball at least 2 or 3 times every single game I watch him. And I do not watch the Kansas City Chiefs that much. I mean, obviously you see them because they're a nationally televised team, but it seems like this year he's been dropping everything thrown at him. Unreal. That was a huge drop just for nothing. She gonna get a. Hey, you keep dropping that ball, you're gonna get one of these Taylor Swift diss songs tossed at your ass. You couldn't win the big one ass dude. She's sucking his energy. She is sucking his energy like a witch. New car, caviar, 4-star daydream. Think I'll buy me a football team. See, it sounds like a lyric from a song that I don't know offhand. I'm stoned. That's what's up. I'm trying to get like you, but I'm trying to, keep the stream going. Oh, shit. Is that offsides? Nope. He completed it. He completed it because he wasn't throwing the Kelce bitch ass. Let's get some more smoke in. So I was scared I was going to actually show y'all the game, which I do not want to do because I don't want to get kicked off the internet. Sheesh. That's crazy. They talk about all the Dolphins' injuries. I'm sure you guys, hopefully you guys can't hear. But yeah, a lot of guys in the defense are hurt. Now, this goof Kelce is starting to get it going. Please don't show that bitch. There's no I mean, listen, I get it. Like I said, the NFL, they're ruthless capitalists. They want to market to everybody. When you're not, it's money. And I should have known that song. It's a good song. Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is one of the bands I really did listen to quite a bit when I was younger. And then I remember this sounds old. This is some old head shit. I had which car was it? It was you say I had 2 different Grand Ams from the 90s. And this is in the 2000s though. It was either my Grand Am or my 96 Monte Carlo had Dark Side of the Moon in the tape. It was in there. And I was like, that was just cold. I just thought that was cold. Like, damn, I got the Dark Side of the Moon. I wish I still had that damn tape. Shit. Just to have, authentic Dark Side of the Moon tape. Yeah, I did fuck with Pink Floyd. I like Dave Gilmour. He's a really good guitarist. No, he wasn't always the guitarist, but he's like one of my favorite. They're going for it. Oh, he's going to get it. Damn it. Here comes that Mahomes glazer. But that was a good play. They ran it. It was 4th and 4. Looks like everybody was open, or nobody was open downfield. He ran it for quite a few yards, getting close to the end zone. Yeah, Pink Floyd is not gay. Pink Floyd is cold. I'm not as good with the lyrics and stuff like that. If you want to talk about getting stoned, man, if you get high listening to some Pink Floyd, man, you'll go places, man. I know that's stereotypical, but that shit hits. Said Beatles equals gay, Pink Floyd not gay. I mean, listen, I still like some of the Beatles stuff. I was a huge Beatles fan when I was younger, but finding out that they were fake really fucked me up. And I know a lot of these bands are fake. But it's just like, man, y'all was supposed to be these great songwriters. Y'all didn't even write none of these songs, I bet. Some other motherfuckers wrote all this shit. We thinking y'all are some geniuses and shit. Oh, wow. Papa Kai actually sang Pink Floyd a couple times. That's dope. How are they live? I imagine it's dope. That's touchdown. So, man, looks like Kansas City is going. I don't see Miami's. Is there flags? God damn it. Is there flag on every play? Will these refs stop? Can we fucking play the game and watch the game? Blocking the back. Oh, they're calling it back on Kansas City? I'll take it. Because I was just about to say, man, Miami's defense can't hang. But Kansas City, they caught a penalty on Kansas City. Uh-oh. That's not in the script. You see, you over care about the Bengals. You like triggering boomers. Well, I'm not a boomer. I'm a millennial. I'm triggered. No, I'm not triggered. I know it is what it is. You've been stoned. This is the Beastie. Beastie Boys got some good music, too. I like the Beasties. Very creative dudes. A lot of the early stuff, they don't get as much credit. They talk about Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin didn't make none of those beats. The Beastie Boys made those beats. And the Beastie Boys made some of those beats on Paul Boutique, even though they gave a lot of credit to the Dust Brothers. Shout out to the Dust Brothers, but Beasties were creative dudes, man. They put respect on it. Put respect on the Beastie Boys name. They were very creative dudes. Golly, all that time. Yeah, 100 years back there just waiting. Have you seen the video? Yeah, I had a teacher in high school who did that. Nas. Talking about syncing Wizard of Oz with Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, I saw that when I was in high school. I heard Beastie Boys free Tibet. Yeah, they about to glaze Mahomes. And commentators is sometimes insufferable. Oh, real quick, we are still going to do Synthwave Saturday night. I'm going to give a few different solutions to our sound issue attempts, in between streams. But if I can't get it going, I'll just render a lot of my beats that we have worked on and maybe stuff I haven't worked off stream, play it and talk about it, and we'll play other music and talk about that and talk about whatever else we come up with. Because I don't know what's going to happen, me trying to mess around and get the sounds working. But we'll get something going. We'll definitely do something tonight. Depending on how long this stream goes, obviously, because we got so much time in between. And real quick, I'm about to get a little more comfortable. I'm just going ahead and remove the mask. I gave it an hour. Or 40 minutes. For almost 45 minutes of masked content on screen. It is grueling wearing that damn thing. I don't know how. If ever I do shows I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm gonna need a new mask at some point. If ever I do shows, I would have. That's a must investment. No way I can do it with that mask. No way I can do it. Shows. I can do like music videos and shit. So long as I constantly take it off. That shit is uncomfortable, man. And you can barely see. This commercial is stupid as shit. Stupid. I got a mask. I was once when I was a kid for the more momentary lapse of reason, and then I saw them for Division Bell. Oh wow, dope stuff, Papa Cotton. I didn't see that because of the mask. Dope stuff. It's a nameless ghoul from the Mask Ghost. You know, Ghost was another influence because they were pretty. I came up with this idea like 2017, 2018. It was Marshmello, obviously MF Doom, Daft Punk, and I didn't even know who Ghost was, but I just saw them. I'm like, damn. And at the time, I don't know, maybe people did know who they was, but they made it seem like didn't nobody know who they was. I was like, that's the coldest shit ever. That they walk around, they all wear masks and shit, and they all nameless and shit. I thought that was cold as fuck. Even without being too big of fans of their music, I just thought that presentation was cold. I'm like, man, I want to do something cold like that too. And this is the best I can come up with. Shout out to Mando Merkel came up with the logo, and then we turned it to a mask. And hell, if I could get a more comfortable version, I got to find another mask maker. And just like, man, this has got to be a little bit more breathable, a little bit more visually easy to see through, and look through. But yeah, that's cold. That's cold to have a Ghost mask. Shout out to Ghost. Shout out to that whole fucking extended metal movement. That's one of the few independent music movement, and it's only so independent. There's a lot of major labels involved, a lot of those bands, or at least if not major labels, major management groups. So it's not purely independent. Nothing is, right? But it seems like people just find bands they like and fuck with them. And it's dope. It is dope. So now they're just doing all these weird. They have some of the weirdest graphics. I'm talking about the Chiefs defense. I'm hoping I think the Chiefs are gonna fuck around and win this game because it seems like they're driving the ball down pretty easily. I mean, they did get that touchdown taken back. That's how music works these days. People find what they like. That's what's cool about it. So even our Dempseys have found success. People just find them. I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. You know, it doesn't work for major labels, but it works perfectly for independents. That's why a lot of major labels have just become management groups now. Because that's the only way they could get a chance. Sometimes it's too late. Sometimes guys get so big they don't even need management groups. They just do it on their own. Shit, we was talking about this is a while ago, but motherfucking Griselda, motherfucking West Side Gun, only just in the past few years got a manager. He said he did the whole from whatever 2010, 2012, whenever they really started being serious till 2021 or something like that, 22. That was him. There was no management. I mean, not counting like Rock Nation when they signed the management deal, or some of them signed the management deal there. Some had a little deal with Shady or whatever. They had the group deal. But outside of like that, there was no extra management involved. That was all just West Side really doing the management stuff. He said that's all he wanted to do. He didn't even want to be a rapper. All right, Papa Cotton, peace out. He said he didn't even want to be a rapper. He was just trying to be a manager. It's funny. My cousin was a manager. He had and I didn't know how close they were with the artists. Like they had deals on the table, but the artists just said no. And they had I'd even tossed him some beats back then, but that was a while ago. And I don't know how. I mean, he had music. He was doing songs with a lot of local artists apparently. And they had multiple deals on the table, but they weren't big deals though. Which was probably for the best. They were smaller little deals, and I'm like, oh man, that was perfect. That's what you want. You don't really want that big crazy deal. That was just small deal, and he just thought they were too small for him. He didn't take them. That was it. That was it. And yeah, this is why I talk about the management groups. A lot of times you see, oh, they independent. No, they not. Social media music plants, tons of new BS artists being backed by big corporate music behind the scenes. Exactly. They got these management groups. So you look, they're not signed to any big label. They'll come up with their own label, but you find out, oh, their management group is part of, you know what I mean? Part of what's that one big agency out in LA? I can't think of it, like AAA or AA or some shit like the CAA. Or you'll see, oh, their management group is a part of this major corporation. But it says, you know, I'm sure if you look up Tom McDonald, it's not going to say Interscope or Universal or something. It's going to say whatever the fuck bullshit head music, whatever he calls it. Meanwhile, he's got a management team behind him that's completely corporate, completely, like I said, belongs to CAA, belongs to Warner, belongs to one of these big corporations. Could be Disney for all the fuck you know. Because they own so much shit. Who knows? And then you realize, man, they're not really independent. A lot of artists is doing that shit. And you think social media just found them. Oh, I just found them organically. Look at this unknown artist being pushed by the algorithm. Completely organic. Exactly. There's so much of that. There's a lot of that. And and you think they independent. I mean, listen, there's some talent. Not all of them are untalented. But the idea that, you know, or some of them, you know, Rock Nation is behind it. Sometimes the label is behind it. Even that whole Empire movement, where they're really an independent label technically, or independent imprints, but it's all connected to Empire, which is I think connected to Universal. It's a lot of people who got deals with division of Empire. Even I just mentioned Griselda. I know Rock Marciano, I think, has an Empire deal. My man, a couple of guys I like from Detroit. Babyface Ray, I think, has an Empire deal. I Swear Vizo has an Empire deal. And listen, I ain't they exec, so I don't know how it worked. Yeah, or that little sub label is backed by Warner. That's how they got my man Jelly Roll, who's, you know, a lot of people like him. I can't tell you which label he's backed by, but he has a label, but it's backed by Warner or Universal or Island, one of those big companies. There's a lot of that. And like I said, it doesn't mean necessarily just like they sign talented people. I like Jelly. You know, I'm not a huge Jelly Roll fan, but I get the vision. Shout out to my fellow big brother. Gotta show respect to my people. My people being fat motherfuckers. No, I'm just being funny. But yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, what do you do? That was the only way labels could continue on. Or Sony. Yep, Sony is another big company doing that shit. There was no other way for labels to continue on because music doesn't move. You can still make a lot of money off of music if you have a rabid fan base who's willing to buy merchandise, and you have, you know what I'm saying? That's what you sell. You sell merch. You don't sell music no more. People will buy hoodies and shirts and clothes and vinyl, and you know, they'll buy whatever. But you know, that's what you're selling. You're not selling. Yeah, he got nominated for the Grammy. Of course, he got corporal back. Like I said, I think he's talented. I don't think he's an untalented dude. It's just how it goes. It's a lot of corporal backing a lot of this music now, because that's the only way they can't make money off of album sales. That's why they signed to these 360 deals. Some get signed to not quite 360 deals. Like I said, Empire, despite their reputation for often rappers is supposed to be one of the best deals you can get. You get enough corporal backing to move your stuff, but you still supposedly get a bigger piece of the pie. At least that's what the word on the street is. I ain't signing these deals. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to eyes wide shut parties. So I couldn't tell you how it worked. But I wouldn't sign a deal, honestly. I don't. I would be even nervous to sign with a manager now because of what we just said. Because a lot of these managers is backed in to corporate, or sometimes they ain't even big corporates. I seen, what was the guy? What's this guy? I want to say his name's Mario Judah. Came out a few years ago, had a little viral single. He was a big guy, had a little rock kind of voice, but it was some hip hop kind of mixed. He was signed to the first label he was signed, the first group was just some management just messing with like I want to say it was connected to some small media company. I couldn't tell you which media company. I say small, but small to medium sized media company. And then that was just a management deal, but then he dropped him and signed to some label. But it wasn't the label. The house label wasn't big, but I think there was some big people behind it. That was the whole point of me telling that story. I don't know where that guy is now. The song was okay. Okay at the time. Like Die Another Day or something like that. Die a Nice Day. Or it was kind of goofy, but it was kind of fun, whatever. He said, from what I heard, his music is serial lacking. He talked about Mario Judah. Yeah, it wasn't. But I mean, he was just, I almost felt for him. He didn't really get a chance to develop as an artist. It's hard. I'm realizing that. Just like, golly, because this episode is gonna be the clip episode since we have technical issues Sifway Saturday night. But I don't feel halfway done with the damn album, and I want to get to the point where I can release multiple projects per year, just because I feel like I just want to be prolific. That's what, all the artists I love are prolific. Alchemist dropping multiple EPs as a producer per year. You know what I'm saying? I talked about Prince. He would drop an album every year, and different subjects, different genres, whatever he felt. Be an R&B album, maybe do a rock album, maybe do a Jehovah's Witness jazz album, just because. You know what I'm saying? I was watching something with Zaytoven, shout out to him. Say he just stay consistent. That's the thing. You got to stay consistent. I know the little break got me off of, I haven't really made music in a couple weeks. And I feel for anybody who signed on the contract. But here's the thing, man. It's hard to try to be purely independent. How you going to, because the things that make money are merch and shows. Maybe you can sell merch and social media, but how the fuck are you going to book shows? Everything goes through Live Nation. Everything. Every venue. Yes, there's some venues who will still book you outside of it, but you know how hard it is? You know what I mean? So you're going to have to deal with Live Nation no matter where you are. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to deal with them. So you got to have something. It's like you got to, I don't know what it takes. I hope to deal with Live Nation. You can keep your butthole tight. I hope you don't have to do no Illuminati death stuff just to deal with Live Nation, or else there's a huge cap of what VigilanteWilliamson can ever be in infinite space time. Because I don't want it that bad. If it's like, oh, you want to go on tour? Time to suck some dick? Well, I guess I ain't going on tour then. But I mean, I'll say this: you don't need, a lot of people just Twitch stream. So I'll be a Twitch streaming motherfucker. I'll just be a Twitch streamer. But yeah. Imagine the corporal breathing down your neck. A lot of times the worst part is when they stop and they just drop your ass, and they drop you, and now you owe them $250,000, $300,000, $1 million, depending on your budget. Yeah, some bands put their anger towards the music industry, and the Hive's new album is a shot at corporal music. That shit shouldn't be legal to what the industry does. Here's what the music contract does. This is, now we all know this, but we didn't know this back in the day. They give you a loan, and they call it an advance. So they give you a loan, It could be 250,000. It could be 800,000. It could be $1 million. From this loan, you're going to pay all the expenses of creating, producing, and promoting the album with their approval. They get to approve what you expend stuff on. And they do the accounting for it. Because as Shaq found out, he was using his studio to record everything, but they were still charging him studio time that never existed. And that's just one of many charges like that you're going to get. And so you pay for everything, yet when it comes to the ownership of the music, you only get a small piece back. And from that piece, you're supposed to pay that advance, that initial advance. That is the basic bitch in entertainment industry contract. And then in the 2000s, because people stopped buying albums, they said this isn't enough money. So matter of fact, give us a piece of what happens when you go on tour too. So when you go on tour, you're getting $50,000 a show. Now you're getting $20,000 a show. We're getting $30,000 to go back on what we just gave you as a loan. And you're going to tour yourself? How? Because don't you have to go through again Live Nation to even get a goddamn tour of any note going? So that's how they got the game so fucked up. Yeah, you got to create your own fan base independently and then go on the record deal negotiation, 360 deal. You can't even, I was just saying don't do record deal negotiations. Just deal with whatever that number is independently. Maybe you only get, maybe you're, cause I see these bands, I see all these artists. I'm trying to pocket watch, not in the, the bitch ass way, but just trying to okay, how do you make money? How do you support yourself? Some people working regular jobs still. That's just the reality. If you want to be an independent artist, you probably are going to have to still work. That's the reality of life. Because unless you want to take it up the butthole, or even if you don't take it up the butthole, literally, you'll take it up the butthole financially. Maybe nobody touches you. They like the music you make. Then just say, fuck it. We'll just keep them in the deals is already a slavery deal. We don't have to go to his door and tell him to suck some dick. We can just keep him in the slave deal. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't get to work, but you struggling. That's why a lot of people with deals, they say they broke. You don't need it if you get a good deal. Like I said, listen, if you get a buzz going, you get a label deal at, I hate to say Empire because I don't think they above board 100%, but they seem to be handing out the most deals, the best deals. If you're a Rob Marciano, he's on Empire, he's doing okay. You know what I mean? It seems like that, or, a similar situation where you're not getting 360, you're still keeping some of your stuff, but you're not also the disadvantage is you're not taking the biggest advance. But how big do you need of advance to promote stuff nowadays? You don't need $2 million to promote a song nowadays. You do that $200. You know what I mean? So you don't need to quite be crazy with the promotion budget as much as you used to. So that's a huge advantage. And so you don't really, if you sign a smart deal where you're not old, you're not going to be in debt all the way, and you're getting a nice chunk. Which there are people signing those deals. I don't want to, some people are doing okay. But I just wouldn't sign a major deal. No, I mean, the thing is to sign to a big indie. That's a little bit different. Yeah, that's probably true. I Run the Jewels' fourth album for a big record company. They probably didn't get fucked. They probably got a nice cut. Had a nice tour support and everything. You're right. You could definitely find groups and situations that probably worked out. So it needs to work on a streaming service that can do live music and stereo without channels getting glitched out. I know. I mean, listen, there's a lot of people trying to do live streams on Twitch. I'm not a sound quality mark like I probably should be. But all we really got as far as streaming for music is still Twitch, which we're on right now. Shout out to Twitch, Kick, YouTube. That's all we really got is still these streaming services. You're talking about live music. And of course, we'll see what's going to happen with Spotify. My plan is to not, unless I find myself with a product that's valuable enough to actually make money. If I'm not going to make money on Spotify, there's no point in posting on Spotify. And at this point, I'm not about to make no money. So my first project, at least initially, I'm not going to put on Spotify. I'm going to just do SoundCloud, YouTube, obviously, and Bandcamp if anybody wants to pay me. Because there's no point. It's Spotify, they changed the rule at least to this year, and maybe they've changed it since because there was a backlash. But you need to have 1,000 streams per song to even get anything. And so I don't know if I'm going to get 1,000 streams per song because I don't, y'all the only ones who know I make music. So, and it may take years to get to that point, realistically. So it's no sense. I'll wait until there's at least a demand. Hard to do multiple. Oh, yeah. Shit, I can't even perform over a Twitch stream. If the ideal way to do it would to get a little mixer and use the and that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to do everything off the sound card, but have one sound card, maybe a laptop set up, and then a small mixer set up, and have everything go from the mixer, have the outputs go right. Have hopefully you have a mixer. We have 2 sets of the same outputs. One go to your speakers, one go to your sound card, and that's what you will run. And that would be probably the smoothest way to do it. And then you can choose how much of which you want to give, obviously. Because you might say, we want to use everything off the speaker, so we just take the speakers instead of having one set of inputs. You just take a couple mics and put those mics in the sound card. Whatever you want to do. That's an infinite rabbit hole how you want to have that set up depending on what you think is best for your specific sound. Whether you want to go hard off of the mixer or off the speakers or blend or do some other configurations more complicated or maybe less, who knows. But yeah, Spotify doubled down on fucking small artists. So it's like, all right, well, there's no point. There's no point. I get the idea of, well, you get a big playlist and that, but I mean, I don't know. It just seems like there's no point to go on Spotify until it's a point to go on there. Now, if I knew, okay, I have enough fans to where, yeah, I am going to get at least 1,000 streams, I would do it. But I don't, so I'm not. But yeah, they're just getting too greedy. And shout out to anyone who's watching live or the playback. I know people are coming in, leaving. I thank anyone who watched it, left a like, all that good stuff. Because we are talking about, this is supposed to be about the NFL game with the Miami Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs, but we talking about whatever. Spotify starting to do video as well, starting with podcasts. Well, that was the whole point of getting Joe Rogan, wasn't it? Was to start with video. And golly, I wish there was a way of getting approval to be a podcast. God, we don't need any more podcasts. Yeah, you told me Bandcamp is bought out by a corporate. That sucks because Bandcamp has always been providing, for the indie artists. They, usually it's okay to sample, and maybe they not so. They look the other way, and they've been really cool. And it would suck for that to go away. Hopefully, something builds up, but they already got a lot of equity. You know what I'm saying? Bandcamp is the best independent label on earth. Shit. Yeah, you don't get no money, but you get all the money you want. Okay, so they were only doing audio. Rogan was all audio. I thought I read somewhere that they wanted to do Rogan's video. But I have, I don't even. Outside of those clips that you can't escape, I don't really watch Rogan like that. Speaking of Rogan, and last week the Cat Williams thing was a huge thing. One of the things he said though was that Rogan would never have him on, and he kind of took a shot at a lot of comedians. And it's funny, I had took a shot at a lot of those comedians that Rogan built up a few weeks before, like right before we left for the new year. Just cause, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. A lot of people have, What do you guys think about Cat Williams taking a shot at some of those Rogan comedians? A lot of people I saw just kept talking about Shane Gillis, but it's like 7 of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep talking about him. Okay, he's okay. But y'all not gonna convince me Burt is anything but trash. And a lot of them. I mean, I like Theo Von if you consider him. But I could do without the rest of them. I don't really see what's so great about Shane Gillis. I mean, maybe I just haven't seen his specials. But that's the only one people kept defending. But I'm like, yo, it's another 7, 8 dudes of these Roganettes who Joe Rogan blow up. They blow up their notoriety, but they really not that great. Yeah, Burt is horrible. I've never heard anything that made me chuckle or laugh or think. So Rogan is hard to listen to. Too many pauses do it to be a stone blind. Uh-oh. Probably not helping with that. About to go into halftime. Kickoff. I've been talking to you guys. I ain't been watching the game, but I thank y'all for showing up, man. We still will do Safeway Saturday. I should probably set that up. Hope you know what. Okay, I'm about to try to set up my stream for later on another channel. I don't know if this is going to freak out. I hope it doesn't. You know what? Actually, I know what I'm going to do to make sure it doesn't. I'm going to just watch this on a different thing. Okay, they're going for it. Oh, no. There's still some time left, and it looks like Miami is trying to go for a Hail Mary type situation before the half. Gillis is great because he's a blue-collar comedian. None of his pompous whistle important. I'm in the trenches, LA and Austin BS. So I haven't seen Gillis. I mean, but people seem to like him. If you're audio only, you really can't leave dead air. It's worse than dead air on YouTube. That's true. That's true. Even though, I mean, a lot of radio guys pause. Yeah, 2 seconds left. I knew you guys might be ahead of me if you're watching this legitimately, because Lord knows I'm not. A lot of radio guys historically will pause. I remember back when I was I used to be a Jim Rome mark when I was a kid, bro, and he pauses. He pauses a lot. He would just stop talking. But I was bro when in the late '90s, early 2000s. Oh, I was almost a pick. I thought Jim Rome was the greatest thing in sports media history, man. I was a huge Jim Rome fan. Just the radio, not even the TV shows. Not even the TV shows. Not even even before Rome is burning. You're on a special stream. Okay, cool. Because special streams tend to be, I'm on a special stream too. Ain't no way in hell. I feel for the people out here still trying to thug it out with basic cable and streaming services. This is some scam shit to do to the people. You got to pay this $6 a month for bullshit Peacock. Now, if you got Peacock, that's one thing. But to make people, and it's not on NBC, that's some bullshit. That's some grade A, number one, class A bullshit to do to the people, to make people pay for this garbage. And I mean, it's a cool little game, but I'm not worth $6. he did go too far with the edgy stuff because now he's so tame. Now he's probably another one who wouldn't dare disrespect the corpo structure. But because he was all in with the edgy shit. He was all the way in. I have not seen Theo's interview with Strickland. Actually, I don't even know who Strickland is. Oh, Sean Strickland, I think. Talk about the UFC guy. That'd be interesting. Or maybe I did. You know what? I might have seen a couple clips. If you're talking about Sean Strickland, I think I might have seen a couple clips. I might have just talked about him the other day when he was talking about all the. He was talking about him being a little no bullshit white supremacist, or just getting it, or not necessarily white supremacy. He kept having hate crimes, getting kicked out of school, and he said he had an old, I think, racist grandfather, and he was just getting abused. He just hated life, and then he found fighting and just kind of straightened him out. He said, if I remember, if that's the same interview, I don't know which interview I saw of him doing that, talking about that. I was like, man, this is interesting. And I'm sure it'll be used for some UFC shit. All right, so we're doing Sifway Saturday Night, episode 8, one more time. If we can't get it work, when he was like 12, 13. Yeah, he was young. He said he was, I want to say 9th grade or 8th grade. I want to say it was 9th grade when he finally found UFC or finally found MMA. He said he got his ass beat. He was bleeding. It was the best he had ever felt in his entire life. It's fun. I used to love that Jim Everett interview when I was younger. I used to think it was the funniest thing. Chris. Chris, look at here. Little Chrissy Everett. Now listen, you're not going to call me Chris anymore. Chris. And he hopped over the table. That was the funniest shit to me. Jim Rome. I just, and he was this short guy talking so tough over the internet, or not over the internet, over the airwaves. We can mute because it's just this god awful halftime show. Is it me, or is all of sports coverage just infinitely worse than it's ever been ever? Oh my God! Every halftime show, the commentary, I can't deal with any of these guys. He got They're lucky Jim didn't just ground and pound this dude, right? Because he pushed him down, but he could have gave him a 40 piece. Because you could tell Jim Rome can't fight. You could tell good and goddamn well that man cannot fight. All the shit he talking, and he's small as shit. And he's not even like the small Jack dude. He just small. You know, Jim Everett, big ass, would have beat the braces off of that dude. You just know he would have. Oh man. See, he punked him real good. Yeah, Jim was a big dude. He's like 6'5", 6'6". He was a huge dude. He towered over him. I mean, you got to give Jim some credit, or Jim Rome some credit, just for talking shit. Just for still, despite the situation, saying, I'm going to still talk shit. I'm such an ignorant bastard. Because he could have, right when he saw Jim Everett, because that's what most people would do. They would say, man, I'm not going to talk all that shit I've been talking. Oh, hey, how you doing, Jim Everett, quarterback of the thing? And then if you brought it, we're not trying to live up to the past. He could have acted like a bitch. But the first thing he said is Chris Everett. Little Chrissy Everett. That's the first thing he said. So he deserved a little, because it's like, he could have backed down and just, and acted like a complete hoe the whole time. But I don't think he thought Jim Everett would really slam him like that. Or else he wouldn't have said shit. Oh, man. Shit, we can play that real quick. This is halftime. Y'all know what we talking about. I know it ain't that many people in the chat. But we don't stream that much on this channel. And then we did this completely. Yep, Jim Everett, Jim Rome. Here we go. It's only a minute. This is one of the classic moments in fucking sports history. Oh man, so what a douchebag. Hold on, let's get it so you guys can see it. This guy's an asshole. Guy's an asshole. So, all right. This is, who knows, 1990-something, 95, 94, whatever. Whenever Jim Everett was a quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, I believe. And Jim Rome used to call him Chris Everett. If you don't remember Chris Everett, she was a tennis player. And this is back, 6'5", 212. Big dude, especially that height. So this is back in the days where calling a man a woman was thought of as offensive. It's not like the glowing badge of honor it is today. But in any event, he used to call him Chris Everett. He used to call him Chris Everett like he's soft. That was the idea. Talking Jim Rome, calling Jim Everett Chris Everett. And he used to call him that before, and then he has an interview. He's about to interview this guy he's talked shit about over the internet, but over the airwaves a bunch. And this is the result.
Jim, good to have you on the show.
Good to be here, Jim. Thank you.
Check that. Chris Everett, good to have you on the show.
You know what? You've been calling me that for about the last 5 years.
About 2 years, actually, Chris.
Well, hey, let me say one thing. In that game, how many sacks did I have that we came back and won?
How many sacks did you have?
How many sacks?
Well, see, but this was back in 1989.
Okay, that was about
you may have even been Jim Everett back there, but somewhere along the way, Jim, you ceased being Jim and you became Chris.
Well, let me tell you a little secret. That, we're sitting here right now, and if you guys want to take a station break, you can. But if you call me Chris Everett to my face one more time...
I already did it twice.
You call it one more time, we better take a station break.
Well, it's a 5-minute segment, or a 5-segment show. We got a long way to go.
Well, we do.
We got a long way to go.
We do.
I'll get a couple segments out of you before.
Well, it's good to be here with you, though.
Well, it's good to see you,
because
too.
you've been talking like this behind
Oh, he's such a dude.
Now I said it right here.
Right, exactly.
Well, we got no problems then.
I think that you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris?
They're lucky that Jim didn't just start wailing on him.
Rome continued with the show minus Everett. For his part, Everett apologized, saying the
He shouldn't apologize. Oh, was he with the Rams? He played for a few teams. Yeah, he must have been with the Rams because they got a Rams helmet in the back.
of his time in Los Angeles came to a head with the repeated taunts of his hosts, and he lost it.
Yeah, that was a different man. They're lucky Jim Everett didn't just say, you know what, I'm about to hit this dude with a 50-piece. Yeah, there's a huge delay between us, probably because we got the 3 things streaming. But they're lucky he didn't say, you know what? Yeah, it's good old that ESPN2 look. They're so lucky he didn't take about a 50-piece and just wail on this guy. He could have hit him 100 times before anybody got over it. It was the 90s, so it wasn't like security was that big of a priority. Yeah, so he was with the Rams. I remember him a little bit more with the Saints, but yeah, he played for a few teams. Oh man. And then they put that little graphic, "Don't call me Chris." Oh, shit. I thought he was going to, topple that table. He kind of tried to. Man, he could have really. They're lucky he didn't just start stomping on, dancing on his head, stumping him out. He could have really fucked Jim Rome up. Just the idea, what a dick. He looks so douchey. But he's never, you know what? That tamed him a little bit. After that happened, he started to tame a little bit, slowly but surely, and get more and more tame as time goes on. Golly, that'd have been funny if he'd really beat the braces off him. Yeah, he tossed that table quick. I thought he was going to pick up the table and slam it on him. That's what it looked like. He kind of tried to, but he just toppled it over quick and pushed him down. And you could just tell, like, Jim still didn't think. Jim, for some reason, had a very high degree of safety for what was about to happen. He just felt like he's not about to really put his hands on me. And I don't know why he did. And I don't know why they did that segment. Like, that had to be fake, right? Because if that was real, y'all dumb, y'all idiots. Why would y'all sit with that man right across from him, know he's about to talk this shit to him, and think that he's not about to put his hands on you? God, because it was the reason. I mean, it probably wasn't fake, but it's just like Jim's mercy is the only reason Jim Rome didn't get his whole face literally rearranged. Is he sitting there with a douchey smile? Said, a bunch of interviews canceled. So that was real, yeah. They didn't want to talk to him after that. And then he started to mellow out and become more of a bitch as time went along after that. Hey, it's good television. Now you can't get no more fucking guests, it ain't. You can't get no more fucking guests. It ain't gonna be no fucking television. Oh man, that was the '90s. They didn't know what they was doing. I miss the '90s. Just that corpos weren't really corpos back then. They were, but they weren't as corpo as they became. They were about the money, but they just weren't about organization and shit. And like, oh man, think about security. Like, no way they would let him even say that to a guest like that. No, that would never happen now. You would think. I mean, I say that. Who knows? Who knows? Not sure if we're going to watch this whole game because it's not like we're talking about the whole game. He had other shows with the sports analysts who argued with each other in the awarded points. That sounded like Around the Horn. You sure that was him, not Max Kellerman? Or was it? Did he have an Around the Horn like show that I didn't know of? I remember he had that show, and then I feel like that got canceled not too long after that. And then they brought him back with Rome is Burning, but the whole time, they brought up Rome is Burning like 5 years after that, maybe a little longer. And then, it was a lot less consolidation. That's another thing. It wasn't like, one company owns everything, and then even if they did a lot, it was more just regular people just doing shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, okay, nowadays a corporation will have 50, 60 people working on the show. Then they might have like 10. Like, okay, it's a cameraman, 2 people working the board, 1 other director, a security guy. You know what I mean? They don't have like 30 security guys and a whole team and, 20, 30 people in the room and 3 cameramen. They don't got all that shit. See, so he started and got fired off of ESPN. Okay. So he started. I didn't know he started Around the Horn, and probably around the time all this timing is, he ended up getting fired and give it to Max Kellerman. Then they ended up giving it to what's his name, Tony Reali. Later, after Max Kellerman has issues allegedly. That's what I heard, that Max Kellerman was dealing with some substance issues. Allegedly, and they ended up giving that to Reali. But I didn't know he was involved in Around the Horn at any point. Or a similar show. I'm not sure if that was what it was. And my throat. I shouldn't say nothing about my throat. So it started as Jim Rome is Burning. Yeah, that was a different show. Jim Rome is Burning. That was a show he did later, I thought, where they brought him after, like around that time they had fired him. I thought they brought him back, and then he did his solo show, and it was just him. Now, I don't know. You might be right that they had that segment, that Around the Horn like stuff, because I can't remember everything. And I smoked so much weed then, so I don't want to. Maybe he did do that stuff on Around. Because I don't remember when shit happened. I don't remember what show did what. But I remember Jim Rome is Burning, and then it became Rome is Burning. But I don't remember when they did, or what segments they did, or when he came back. I don't remember if it was 99, 2000. All that stuff kind of runs together anyway. A lot of those shows, because they almost switched their whole. When you really look at it, if you go back to that time, late 90s, early 2000s, ESPN switched their whole format, because that's when they started to get into, it was a segment on this show. Okay, that makes sense. And you're probably right. I don't remember the order of everything, because it was all within 2 or 3 years. They started doing more debate-like shows. They had, I feel like Part of the Interruption was the first, but I can't remember the order again. They had Partner Eruption. Just said it, Round the Horn. Then they had Cold Pizza. And then, okay, so Tellerman took over when they split the idea off Rome Show. Okay, so it was a segment on Rome Show, and then Kellerman took it over and they split it off. Yeah, but all this was happening 2000, between the years of 99 and 2002, they did all this stuff. They had all these different shows. And so because ESPN used to really just cover what happened. They showed you highlights because there was no YouTube to show you highlights. And they would let you know what happened in the game, and they would let you know what games are coming up. But then they became more debate-oriented and more narrative-oriented. PTI's Rome Show was roughly around the same time, first run. Okay. Yeah, they came out really close to each other. Very close to each other. That sounds about right. I couldn't remember the specifics because it was all happening. It's like they just went to this format of being more debate-oriented and more narrative-oriented. And at one point, they had so many shows. They had a block of 2 or 3 hours of debate shows. And then they would go into the 6 o'clock Sports Center. And so it was just that was their main thing they showed you every day. And so their main thing became debate show. And then they added the debate show in the morning with Cold Pizza, which might be CP. You can guess what they meant with that. That eventually obviously became First Take. And it started off with, speaking of Max Kellerman, and around the horn they had Woody, I'm about to say Woody Harrelson. What's his name? Woody Page and Skip Bayless. They had Skip Bayless. Now you only get 3 or 4 people talking points and arguments. Yeah. But then they had Woody Page and Skip Bayless. That eventually became, after Woody left, and after a bunch of mix-up, it became Skip Bayless and Steve Screaming A. And then Screaming A, Max Kellerman, and whatever. But so then they whole series, everything you watched on ESPN was debate shows. By the middle of 2000, late 2000s, it was you get the debate show in the morning. Maybe if you want to watch ESPN2, you can get Mike and Mike, but they kind of made that almost a debate show. And turns out these motherfuckers didn't even like each other, which that sucked to find out. And then in the afternoon, you had 3 hours of debate shows before they went to Sports Center. Then even if you watch Sports Center, there was more debate. It was less, this is what happened, and this is what I think is going to happen. It was more debate-oriented. And then you could tell they were feeding people talking points. You said Good Morning Football is one of the primary morning shows. That's on NFL Network. I haven't watched NFL Network in a while. I did when I was in the city in Detroit because I was over. But I don't even watch. I don't watch any of the sports stuff. I just watch the games on the internet. We'll just say, and that's it. Because I got so jaded. Back in the day, I was watching back in this area, this time zone, this time era. I'm trying to say, I used to watch every fucking thing I could on ESPN, but now I don't watch none of it because it's not worth a damn. And listen, I'm finding out I ain't the perfect sports pundit myself, because Lord knows I got a lot of heat for that damn Lamar Jackson video I just did. But it is what it is. You gotta live and learn. So I ain't trying to act like I'm perfect, but at least you know I ain't trying to bullshit you. Every one of the shows derivative of the other, the same talking points. Yeah, you can't talk 18 hours about the same shit without going crazy. Without losing your fucking mind. It ain't gonna show that musty bitch. Kyle Brandt, so fun to watch. I don't even know who that is. Other stuff is lame. I don't even know who he is. That's how bad it is. I don't even watch Pat McAfee. You know what I mean? He's tolerable, but he's obnoxious too. Because he's kind of like a fan consume motherfucker. Nah, but I mean, it's better than some of these shills. And now the internet would be funny. Yeah, I got out of touch. I'm trying to think when was the last time I was watching ESPN on a regular basis. Probably 2012, 2013. That dude responded to you on video, 6 paragraphs. Man, it was people writing Bibles on that game. I struck a nerve talking about Lamar Jackson. And I even say in the video, listen, I'm a casual fan of the Detroit Lions. I haven't been paying attention to everybody else like that. But boy, man, I just learned, hey, if you come on this internet about some sports, you're gonna have to come with it. I made some mistakes in that video. They went after me. So I learned, man, you don't come on this sports shit unless you're gonna be correct. So, but that's what it is. Everybody got an opinion. Everybody got an opinion. The most retarded take is the most retarded way is always gonna get the most views. Everyone's trying to outdo people in retarded, and that's another thing. That's how when they start having motherfuckers who you knew were doing that. Like I don't know if they still got Lionel Hollins, but he would just say crazy things in crazy ways. And you're like, this isn't. You don't really believe any of this, do you? You're just talking shit. You just talking shit in reference to a SCTE. It was crazy. I didn't even trash Lamar, pointing out stats. Yo, and okay, listen, here's something else. Maybe I'm just old school, but I said I would take Goff over Lamar. And it's not just because I necessarily think Goff is better than Lamar. It's that, hey, we've already had success with this quarterback. Yeah, there might be better quarterbacks, but I wouldn't trade anybody because he's my quarterback. We had success. I don't know. A different situation might have a different outcome. And I don't know why. First off, Goff is in the top 10 of yards, top 10 of completion percentage, and top 10 of touchdowns. Why are y'all acting like Jared Goff is trash? Like, that's so crazy that I would take Jared Goff over Lamar Jackson after he just got us to the first division title in 30 years. No, yeah, I'm going to take the quarterback I already have. Just because. It's like, is that why? It's just like if your quarterback was Dan Marino, let's say you were a 90s, 80s Miami Dolphins fan, so watching the Dolphins probably choke and lose. But if your quarterback was Dan Marino, you know what? Joe Montana might have a better year. Joe Montana might just be better. But you still going to ride with Dan Marino because that's your team, and it's Dan Marino. Yeah, they did not want to hear that shit. And I'm like, that's just a natural thing that I just thought you just did, and that was accepted. That, okay, you're going to root for your home team. Yeah, maybe there is somebody better at the position, but if you got somebody who's a star at the position, you still going to ride with them. Like, that's just how it is. And even if it wasn't independent, it's not like a crazy thing to take. Now, listen, I really wouldn't, all things considered. But then again, I might, because I might still take Goff. Because Lamar is playing on a great, a team with a great defense. The Lions' defense, especially passing, especially in the secondary, is not great. We don't have the best secondary. Receivers get off against our team all the goddamn time. I don't know. Lamar's going to have to score a lot more points if he was our quarterback. He's going to have to throw for a lot more yards if he was our quarterback. So it's like it wouldn't just work. That's not how the fuck anything works. You know what I'm saying? You make, if you were to trade those players for each other, everything would be different. Man, a lot of people. You know what? That's why I said to somebody, and I gave up on answering all the comments. I gave up on looking at them. I said, I got scared. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do no more. I don't want to do it no more. But I hit a nerve. But one guy was, I felt like, okay, I'm going to have to talk about race. I don't want to overhit people with the head and say this has to be racial and there's no other way. And I don't want to ignore it because it might be a racial component to it. Boy, was that not the way to take because there's people saying, of course it's because he's black. He's black, it's racial. And then there's people say, oh, no, there's no way it's racial. Or, how come a white guy can't criticize a black guy without it being racial? And I just say, hey, there's no way to please anybody whenever this type of stuff is set up. Because I tried not to. I said, I'm not going to go too hard saying it's racial because I don't know that it is. And then there were other comments, though. That's why I was interested, though. Some people said, hey, he is a guy that kind of, he kind of has some swagger to him. He has a little arrogance to him. So he's going to rub some people the wrong way. And he just does things differently. He doesn't even have a manager. Going back to that. You say you look at his stat, it's way behind. This year he's behind his previous, especially from a rushing standpoint. Ironically enough, he doesn't run the ball that much, or as much as he did in MVP year. He had like 1,200 rushing yards. Only that's like 600 or 700. And oh Lord, if I got it wrong, if it's 800, I'm sorry. He only has like 5 or 6 touchdowns. He doesn't actually have as much running. Now listen, I do take for granted, just in general, maybe because I used to be a Favre fan. He used to throw so many goddamn picks. But I do take for granted if you have under 10 picks and you have a high completion percentage, I hold that in high regard. He has both. He has a high completion percentage, doesn't have a ton of picks, still has some fumbles, but doesn't have a turn. So I do take that for a high. That's a higher positive for me than it might be for other people, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, touchdowns as well, about 25, 28. He still could be a better downfield passer, or I'll say a more consistent, because he can make downfield throws, but he could be a more consistent downfield passer. And you know what I mean? He's not perfect, but I still think like I said, I think Tyreek should be the MVP. Tyreek or Christian McCaffrey. To me, those are the two MVP. Or if you want to pick a defensive guy, even though they just got blown out today, my man Myles Garrett. You can also toss T.J. Watt if you want to toss a defensive guy in there. I really thought this was the year to give it to somebody that wasn't a QB, to be 1,000%. But if I am going to give it to a QB, I'm going to give it to him. It's either him or Dak. And I'm damn sure ain't about to give it to Dax. That's just because he got that star on his helmet. If Dak put up these numbers for any other team, there's a strong argument he the damn MVP. Here we go. But I ain't giving it to Dak because he's a fucking cowboy. Fuck the cowgirls. So that goes that. So it is. So by default, I mean, yeah. You say Allen, but Allen got. Man, I couldn't do it, Allen. I couldn't. Allen did. I think Allen has the most total touchdowns. I think Hurts had like 38. You don't quote me because he had like, I want to say 15 and 23. I want to say Hurts had 38 touchdowns total, passing and rushing. So yeah, Allen had the most out of anybody, passing and rushing. Man, and I say that even with my man Goff. Goff is a strip sack walking out the. He's a strip sack walking out the front door, bro. He's a stationary quarterback, and you can strip sack Jared Goff. So I'm saying this like my quarterback don't turn the ball over. He does. But boy, there's times where Josh Allen throws. They are Brett Favre balls, and that's not good. He just slings it. He just slings it and hopes for the best. And it's a good thing. It doesn't look like picks affect him because he throws some picks. I know you said that was ESPN there. I don't watch ESPN. It's just sometimes watching this. If that was the quarterback I was rooting for, I would have a stroke. 15 for a rushing quarterback is insane, honestly. You're right. That is a crazy number. Dallas can't win away from home. Hey, Papa Cotton's back. I appreciate it. Yeah, Dallas is not that good away from home. And it should have lost a couple weeks ago against us, but that's another can of worms. 15 for a rushing quarterback is great. Him and Hurts have a bunch of rushing quarterback. All right, since you did, hopefully you come back when we do music on the music channel. You say you don't know about gay rugby. It's funny with all these running quarterbacks, especially Jalen Hurts basically is playing rugby. They push him. That tush push is bullshit, but it's another can of worms. And I don't think it's bullshit because there's players pushing him. If he just wants to go up there and do it by himself, that's one thing. But to have players push, and I know that happened before, but you just see like, man, this is fucked up. And then they show Justin Kelsey how he be cheating with the spots. He'll grab the ball and move his arm further. Some bullshit going on. You have to look at each situation. That's true. 4th and 2, and the field goal will be 55%, 55 yards. You throw an arm punt. Eagles start that. Yes, that's goofy. But you could instead of throwing an arm punt, you do a real punt. And I guess some of that you put on the coach. And there's a lot to put on that coach because he does some goofy stuff from time to time himself, McDermott. I don't know. Look, Josh Allen couldn't be my MVP, not this year. He's got to cut the picks back. I get sometimes you have that situation, but sometimes he's just slinging that bitch, man. He's just throwing that bitch with no regard for human life, and it should just land where it lands. And sometimes it's a great play. Sometimes somebody comes down with it, and it's a great big touchdown, and other times it's a pick. And I don't want to totally knock it because I do still think he's a top-tier quarterback. But, boy, is it hard to watch. Like I said, I struggle watching Jared Goff. He doesn't throw as many picks, but he's God damn, it seems like I'm just scared every time it's going to be a strip sack. I have PTSD that Jared Goff is going to get stripped for the fucking ball every fucking time. So it's hard to deal with it. And sometimes he's just throwing that. Sometimes it is an arm punt. Sometimes it's like, bro, we really need you to not throw that interception. But we would have to go through each interception to really say, okay, was this an acceptable one? Was this on the, because some of the interceptions, of course, the receiver should have caught it and tips up. You would have to go through each one. That's with any quarterback, for real, for real. Oh, so you're a Bills fan. Okay, so you're riding with your guy. I respect riding with your guy. That was what I was trying to tell people with Goff. Yeah, it's a hard. Yeah, there's times where I feel like I'm having a stroke watching this guy play. But he's my guy, and he got us here. So, yeah, if you're a Bills fan, that's a different kettle of fish. If I'm a Bills fan, I'll probably be on Josh Allen's head because we ain't had a quarterback since damn near Jim Kelly, and we finally got a starting quarterback where we can win a division every now and again, and we won the division again. He had the most touchdowns. I'll probably would be on his head. That's a different story. I didn't know you was a Bills fan, so that's different. See, that's the thing. You account for, if you're a fan of a team, things fit differently because you're a fan of the team. So that's why I would take Goff over Lamar because I'm a fan of the fucking Lions. And similar to what we just said, a franchise who ain't won shit, we win our first division in 30 years, and I'm just going to throw away the quarterback? Nah, man, what the fuck? I'm going to just Lamar Jackson's better, so fuck him. Nah. The fuck? That who raised you fans? Golly. Y'all ain't got no loyalty. I think that some of that's the post-gambling, post-fantasy football era where people don't really have that loyalty to the team like that. Where if you're an old head, you just remember no, I'm rooting for this team. This team I root for, I want them to win. So, yeah, I'm going to have an extra bias. You just admit you have a bias. There were a few of those picks that were complete bombs. Defense should have knocked it down, but CBs are greedy, intercepting, leaving them on the yard line. That does happen. Because, DBs want the more picks they get, even if they're not the best picks, even if they're on 1 yard line, it still goes to them statistically. Shit, we didn't stop talking about this game. Ain't much really happening in this. And the Dolphins and about to call them the Redskins, the Chiefs. It's fun. You know what's funny? They don't really talk shit about the Chiefs' name. They talked all that shit about the Redskins. I just think they ain't like Dan Snyder. Wish you shouldn't have liked Dan Snyder because he was a shitty owner. Literally had shit water, had a fucking sewage pipe busted open in the damn building. He literally pimping out the motherfucking cheerleaders. He was a slumlord owner, Dan Snyder. Is it Snyder? No. Whatever his name is. Yeah, it's 1977 Chiefs. Now, yeah. I don't even pay attention to the field goal. Looks like the Chiefs are probably going to next week. Man, I hope they don't win this whole fucking thing. Chiefs defense has played really well against the Dolphins. Snyder, yeah. Did they switch owners? They make him sell it, or is he still own it? And see, this is the shit that probably pissed some of the people off, because I used to know everything about what was going on in sports, but I'm a casual now, man. I don't remember. Oh man, did they sell it and all this other shit? I'm just not getting used to the extra game. Just the fact that it's game 17. 17 games, 18 weeks. If it's in the script. Yeah, it looks like he's in the script for Kansas City to win this damn game. No, he's gone. Okay. See? Which, again, I'm not surprised. They hated him, but he was a shitty owner. He was a shitty owner. Speaking of shitty owners, this is what's crazy about being on YouTube. You never know what the fuck is going to blow. That fucking Lamar Jackson video, everybody watch that. I make a video about, hey, Tony Khan is actually the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's trash. Man, people are crazy. This is why y'all be. See, I shouldn't have looked at the comments. So all right, there's a chain. I got to be checked for CTE for having Goff over Lamar. And he said, this is why y'all be losing watching stats instead of watching the games. Like, what does passing yards have to do with being a good QB? That's a crazy question to ask, bro. I'm not sure if you're watching Not King of Royalty or whatever your name is. I appreciate you. I'm not trying to knock you. But listen, I'm not saying pass yards is the end-all, be-all. Sam Howell got a lot of passing yards, but it ain't the end-all, be-all. But still, it's like, well, yeah, it's got to – you act like Goff is trash. This guy act like Goff is one of the worst quarterbacks on earth, and that Lamar Jackson is so much better. I think Lamar Jackson is better than Goff. I do think that. But he's not so much better that I would disrupt everything this team has done just to trade positions. Here, the Bills win Monday. The Chiefs have to go to Buffalo. Okay. That's huge. Well, I guess I'm going to be rooting for the Bills too, because I do not want the Chiefs to get – I want them to get out of here. Man, I'm going to not answer this. Because I got the feeling if I answer this message – it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. I feel like I need to just leave the video alone, let people write their messages, and go about my life. Because I don't think it's going to stop. To say what does passing yards have to do, trust me, there are cases where guys have passing yards. It doesn't mean they're good because it's a lot of stuff. Like I said, Sam Howell got a lot of passing yards. Nobody will mistake him as a top-tier quarterback. Even though I think he can be. I definitely think he can be. But good Lord, they got to do something about the offensive line. Another can of worms altogether. All my views have around 25 views, except one has a few hundred. Doesn't have any sound. See, it's a kind of a QB thing. It has good stat for yard. It means he's doing his job. Yeah. Isolated, you do need to. It doesn't tell the whole picture. But yeah, it won't stop. It won't stop. I'm going to just leave the video alone. I've done what I've done. I'm happy people like it. I have people don't like it, whatever. But you could just tell that guy wants to argue. That's the thing with common sports. People be wanting to argue. People will come to a channel looking to argue. It's only one step, but it is important for quarterback play. Like I said, I'm still old school to remember, don't turn the ball over, run the ball, stop the run. You're a good team. Even though that's not necessarily the case, I think there's a lot more demands on the QB in this day and age. But I still had that energy. So to me, interceptions, touchdown ratio is the throwing touchdown ratio too. Because I know with all the running quarterback, I was going to say Allen because I seen them try that with Allen, but they tried with Hurts and they'll try it with even Lamar. They'll say, okay, we're going to put your rushing touchdowns with your passing touchdowns, and then compare that to the picks. But to me, no, you got to do the throwing to the picks because rushing touchdowns really should add fumbles. Unless you're going to add fumbles to it fumbles lost, which you might. Some people do, but I don't really see it enough. To me, they be trying to say, okay, we're going to have your rushing and your passing touchdowns and compare that to your interceptions and say that's not fair. I'd rather you just do the throwing numbers outright. Where you say, okay, you threw for 30 touchdowns, you threw for 20 picks. Well, it's just 3 to 2. That's your ratio. That's true too. But see, I know they got regular rating and now they got QBR. I never thought too much of rating either. But you're right. QB can have a high rating, ton of yards, really low touchdown numbers if they have a good run game. Yeah, you're right. If you can throw accurately and not, because it seems like incompletions and accuracy is the big thing with rating. And of course, touchdowns to interceptions matter, but it seems like accuracy matters more than anything. Because a lot of people will have a perfect rating. They were like 15 for 16. They only threw it 16 times, but they ran the ball, throw 15 for 16 for like 200 yards, and they got a perfect rating and shit. Yeah, red zone matters. Having a good run game. And just not turn. That's my biggest thing. Just don't turn that ball over, man. I become a stickler on that as I age. Maybe because I was a Brett Favre fan, used to throw it up in the air. It was fun to watch. But seeing those last few years was not fun to watch. Even though the one year they was cool with Minnesota. Maybe the last 2 years with Minnesota. But in the playoffs, seeing him throw the ball cross body, cross the field with no regard for where that bitch is going, and then land right in Tracy Porter's hands, that was not fun to watch. That was horrifying to watch. That was it. Watching Brett Favre age was really, if you were a fan, that was kind of tough. It was like, golly, every year was ending with one of these crazy ass picks. Every single year, the last 3 or 4 years ended with a crazy pick, or that year with the Jets was just bad. Again, it's these. So maybe that's my thing with Josh. I'm traumatized by what Brett Favre used to throw those just horrible passes. Horrible. Just take the sack. Just do anything but throw the ball right to Tracy Porter. I mean, goodness gracious. Was it Tracy Porter? Just one of, I think it was. I feel like he threw it. I haven't seen that highlight in a while. Maybe see if I can pull that up. Yeah, watching that last, because he was cool the whole regular season. He would get to the playoffs, and it was just horrible picks. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. I'm watching this game, but I don't see much happening that's already. Yeah, interception, Tracy Porter, Brett Favre. Man, I just remember this being like one of the worst picks I ever seen in my entirety on earth. That was a nice throw by Mahomes. And I just like, it literally changed the way you felt about Brett Favre as a quarterback those last few years. Because the perception became, he stayed on too long. What is with that sound? That fake rock sound.
Brett Favre goes back to pass. He pumps. Now,
why does stuff in the 2000s look like it was in the 50s? Because look how fuzzy that looks. But no, look at this throw. This is the shit I'm talking about.
Brett Favre goes back to pass. He pumps. Now he fires over the middle. Intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It was intercepted by Tracy Porter.
What a
near
pick.
side to the 40, and John Sullivan runs him down at the 47-yard line. You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe what I just saw.
Looking at that play, he should have just held on to it, Paul. He should have. He could have easily gotten 5 or 6 yards if he would have just pulled that thing down and dove forward.
But why do you even ponder passing? I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
It's one of the worst. God, that pick has aged even worse. Yeah, good old 2040p, 240p. Holy smokes. That pick has aged even worse, guys. That pick looks worse than what I remember. Golly, it was nothing but Saints over there. He could have did anything but throw that pick. If he would have thrown it away. Oh, come on, YouTube. That was 30 seconds. YouTube was trying to mess with me because I showed a bit of an NFL game. I'm surprised. That's a 10, 15-year-old play. What was that, 2009? It's like a 15-year-old play. Y'all harassing me about this game. In 240p, where everything looks potatoized, it's in 240p. Y'all gonna harass me. But yeah, that pick was traumatic to watch. Oh my God. What are you doing? See, that's the shit that, this was rigged. You look back, it's like, was Brett Favre, was that in the script? Because that pick was that's one of the worst picks that you'll ever see in your fucking life. Ever. You can watch football 100 years and never see a pick that bad. That was horrible. We'll take him 2 minutes to get the first down. Did they have a timeout? All he had to do was not throw a pick. No matter what he did, even if it was a sack, which would have sucked, they could have either went for it on fourth or they could have tried a super long field goal, which would have probably gave up field position. But so long as he doesn't get sacked, doesn't get picked, if he throws it away, like he said, they got a 56-yarder still ain't perfect, but they can be hit. I'm about to rewatch. Let me mute the desktop audio. So, do they have a timeout? Oh, come on. I don't care about home internet for T-Mobile. Fuck you. This is not Detroit, man. It's the Super Bowl. Do they have a timeout? I don't see a timeout. So they don't have a timeout. It's 3rd and 15. But shit, it's tied, though. That's the thing. If you just slide, you can run the clock out and go to overtime. Worst case scenario. You just can't throw a pick. You just can't throw a pick. Worst case scenario, instead of throwing, you run, you slide, you run the clock down to the one, or you just run directly out of bounds and just do the kick. You slide, you clock it, and you do a kick. Well, no, you can't clock it. That's the one thing. You can't clock it. But then again, he was outside the pocket. Throw that bitch out of bounds. That's what you're supposed to do. If he throws it out of bounds, in that situation, he didn't have anybody cool. You either run to the out of bounds marker yourself or you throw it out of bounds and give your team a chance to kick the field goal. Yeah, 56 yards. Yeah, he can't take a sack. He cannot take a sack. He has to either run to the out of bounds marker and stop the clock there and just take the 1 or 2 yards that he might have gotten, or throw it out of bounds himself. Running out of bounds is probably the easiest and best option, because even trying to throw it out of bounds, there's so much coverage heavy, he might throw it into somebody's arms. So if he would have and he could have made it to the out of bounds marker. And then it's probably, a 55-yarder? Oh, man, he could have easily got 3 yards and got out of bounds. Actually, I'm about to bring it back up. We'll keep the sound off so the fuzz don't fuck with us. But you just looking at this, he could have easily at least got 2 or 3 yards and went out of bounds. Look, he had a block. So he runs, he can at least get here. He probably has to stop here, but he at least gets here. He's at the 35. What they add, 17? It's a 52-yard field goal. And here's the thing. It's a tie game, so even if you miss it, it's a 52-yard field goal. You go into overtime. But whatever the fuck you do, you cannot take a sack. You cannot throw a pick. You're supposed to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You cannot throw this ball here. Not in a million years should you make that throw. Oh, y'all not even looking. I even got it up. Nope. Let's go back. I'm fucking up. So let's first off show that he can go out. We can go out of bounds about here. But he threw it. He could have made it to the 35-yard line easily. and then it's a 52-yard pick or field goal. And if they don't throw the 50-yard, if you miss the 50-yarder, cool. One, you're in the Silverdome. You're in the Superdome, so you're in a dome, so you got as good of a chance anywhere of hitting the kick. And then again, if you can get out of bounds, if they miss the kick, it's tied 28-28. You go into overtime, but you cannot give up a sack, and you can't. The ball cannot go where it goes. Look at all these. Look at this. Who are you throwing it to? Just don't throw it. If you just run, because he's almost at the line of scrimmage. If you hit the line of scrimmage, now will say this: if you hit the line of scrimmage, it's probably overtime, and you don't get the chance to kick. That would still suck. But you know what it wouldn't do? It wouldn't give the team position to kick a field goal before you even go into overtime. So worst case scenario, you do slide and y'all just go into overtime. That's still better than throwing that pick. Cannot throw that pick. One of the worst picks you'll ever see. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. But no matter what you do, you just cannot throw that pick. He'd have got about 3 yards, make the field goal. Yeah, yep, about 52. That's if he runs out of bounds, it's a 52-yard field goal. It's easy, and he had time. He had enough time to run out of bounds. Yes, it's one of those plays you look back and say, did the bookies tell him to do that? Howdy, Favre's already been able to risk it. Yeah, and it ended his career. But just in that position, you can't. Hey, small town public. We were supposed to be talking about Kansas City beating up on these Dolphins, but we just started talking about whatever. We started talking about I made a video about Lamar Jackson, and that got a lot of heat. I think we had 2,000. I think we got close to 2,000. Which, hey, I'm happy. Videos over on this channel will go over 1,000 on a semi-regular basis. So that's cool to see. Cool to see. And it's, I got to get better as a YouTuber because I made some mistakes in the video that people pointed out. And people, 1.9. Yeah, everybody. I've got all these different people talking about the CFL. I got people talking. This video hit a nerve, and it wasn't even that well done of a video. But you're right. It's a mentality for quarterbacks like him, and Allen is like that as well. And that's how we started on this conversation. I can't put up with that mentality. I can't watch it as a fan. You know what I mean? It would drive me crazy. I just need. And honestly, you know what? I say that like in the big story of Stafford coming back to Ford Field, he was kind of like that. He would throw a sidearm in a place that maybe he shouldn't throw it. But luckily, it's not the rules in this era gave it to where, even though Stafford got beat up a lot, and he would throw his picks, it just wouldn't be as crazy. He wouldn't go like, oh man, he done threw 2 picks in 3 straight games. You know what I mean? But I get it. High risk, high reward. Just need to be Superman all the time. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And it's 12 minutes left? 12 and a half minutes left. Kansas City is up 19-7. Some call happened to pissing off the chat. barely watching. Make sure you ain't. Yeah, I ain't seeing everything. And I get, like I said, I was a Brett Favre fan. So seeing, and he had plays like that pretty much ending every season his last few years. It just got harder and harder to watch that. So it's harder and harder to watch a guy like Allen now. It's like, man, I can't. Whew, that high risk, high reward, all those picks, bro. You cannot turn my ball over, man. You can do whatever you want, just do not turn that bitch over. Yeah, you don't see that much, but the thing is, let's not kid ourselves. The way the rules are protecting the quarterback, because he's gotten a lot of those runs, especially a few years ago. It's not as bad this year, but a lot of those runs, he would kind of like do fake slides on, and then the defender didn't know what the fuck to do, because if he did slide and they went and hit him, they knew it was a flag. So I'm not trying to take anything away from him. It's your job to, if those what the rules are, and you can fool a defender with a fake slide, you'll be a fool not to. You know what I'm saying? And he's not like he's the only quarterback who takes advantage of that. He's not. But it is a thing that you saw enough of, and Kansas City just scored. I think that's probably the dagger touch. But and listen, I'm still not gonna take away him hurdling the linebacker. It's crazy. What was that like a couple years ago? So I don't want to take too much away from it. But a lot of those he would make plays on these linebackers and these safeties based upon the potential that he might slide. And that was – I don't think the refs are that lenient quite now. I feel like we went for a couple years where it was just the way they called it. They still call it pretty soft, especially as pass interference, but it was just like crazy. Like you cannot touch the quarterback. You cannot touch the receivers. And that's why the numbers, like if you notice this year, nobody went over 5,000. But we had a few years ago, it was like 2 or 3 guys either right close to 5,000. I think Tua, even though there's an extra game since then. But we had a 16-game season where I want to say 2 or 3 guys were either at 5,000 or really within a few hundred yards. And so it's kind of calmed down since then. The first time was rookie year against Minnesota. He didn't fake slide on that one. He just straight leaped over the dude. Well, I give him some credit for athleticism. I don't want to totally bash him. I would have to bring it. We can bring that up. Let's see if I can find it. Golly, they keep talking about the Stafford thing. The Stafford coming back to Detroit. We can find it. We'll see. Let me see. Turn the light on. Hold on a second. We're probably going to end it somewhat soon so I can get ready for streaming a couple hours. Jeez, it's already 9? Yeah, we're going to end this pretty soon because this game is probably over. So let's see. I'm going to just see run it. Highlights. We only got 30 minutes. Still farming, trucking people. All right, here's a 2-minute highlight tape we can watch. I don't know if it's gonna have that run that you were talking about. I can see, let me see. Josh Allen. Hurdle. Okay, every Josh Allen hurdle. How about that? That's what we'll watch. And then we'll get out of here. Yeah, I don't see Miami coming back now. So we're going to play this, and then we're going to get out of here. Oh, Jesus. I've seen this one in college. They got the steal. This guy is an athlete. I ain't going to shit on him. Look at this shit. And I'm going to keep the audio off just in case. Look at this shit. This is... I don't know if it's college or high school. Reedley versus Fresno City. Holy shit. Look how high this guy's getting up. Oh, it's going to take a while for you guys to see. But yes, right. Look at this shit. Crazy. This day's got what is this? Guess this is either high school or college again. Look at this shit. Whoa, we almost got killed. Yeah, it's college. It's Eastern Michigan. Wyoming. Yep. Oh, man, he almost got Dudley Death Drop. Okay, that was legit. He's not really hurt. He's just jumping for dear life. That's what I mean. He just plays so recklessly. I get how you can like it, but, bro, that's your quarterback just jumping for – just trying to hurdle dudes. See, that one, it didn't really work out. Didn't really work out. He just jumping. Oh, that was smooth, though. That one was smooth, but he went too low. It went way too low. Yeah, it looks like high school. Yeah, I know it's a little delay. Oh, man. Some of these look risky, though. Some of them look cool. Some of them are impressive. Some of them are all risk. So, honestly, you look at this little highlight tape, it's not showing a lot of fake slides. Oh, that was. As soon as I gave this dude a compliment, he just did a quick little fake one. It was smooth, though. It was smooth. It was subtle. It wasn't like overt. That was smooth, too. It was smooth. A lot of these are pretty smooth. I ain't going to hate on them. But a couple, you do see a little, he does a little jab where he goes pretty low. But yeah, that's pretty impressive stuff. Pretty impressive stuff. So I get why people like Josh Allen, but sometimes it's just like, and I guess, it's hard to ask players like that. It's something I got to deal with as a Lions fan. We go for it all the damn time. We go for it on fourth down. We're just so high risk. And it's hard to watch sometimes. Yeah, it's kind of like a deke. It's like it's not a full fake slide, halfway slide. Oh man, the YouTube guys are really getting mad at me. They're really getting mad at me for today. So yeah, it's not a full fake slide. I'm waiting because there's such a delay between when I'm doing something and when it's showing up for you guys. It's like a 40-second delay. And that comes from me. We're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on Kick. And so the delay is way more hardcore than it's ever been. And I'm not sure if that multi-streaming has something to do with our issues. Hey, J340. You seem like a bot on Kick. I got to be honest, J340. Anybody on the Twitch? Nobody on the Twitch. It still says Friday night games. Uh-oh. Well, it's not Friday night games. We'll get everything situated. In a couple hours, I will be back. I get why the fans love them. If I was a Bills fan, I probably would be a fan of them. But as a, things are different when you're not a fan. It's like, man, I just would have a stroke. Like I said, I have enough of a stroke. Shout out to Motor City Dan Campbell with him just going for every fucking fourth down. It just drives me. It's cool when it hits, but it's hard to watch without like your nerves. You know what I'm saying? But that's why, hey, remember, sports are fake. They're rigged. Do not let this shit get on your head too much. It looks like Kansas City is going to wrap up Miami. We'll be back in a couple hours on the other channel. I'll take a quick break and then try to solve my sound issues. I might delay it a little bit. In any event, if you like the video, please like the video. Shout out to Newbound Turks McCool who talked football with you. So I appreciate it. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged, share, subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, nothing, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. I'm talking to you guys later.